Alright guys, we are here in Chinchero at a palace. It's actually a very underrated tourist spot, but this is one of the most incredible, still existing examples of hydrology. You know, I'm big on agriculture, and we'll take a look at all of this, but I want you to notice every single foundation has an extensive irrigation system. We're gonna get a lot into that. And all of the irrigation is designed to move water away from all the foundations to an extreme amount. Over there in that corner, we're going to see a very large amount. The Incas just were very, very good they're masters of hydrology. And if you take a look, of course, there's a church built on top, which means, you know, the Spanish came here, standard, murder everybody stuff. But the Incas did not want them to get the resources. And so while they were fleeing, they intentionally burned this palace down, so the Spanish couldn't have any resources as they continued to flee. But we're going to show you some incredible hydrology stuff here. We're here in Chinchero. Of course, we have our archaeologist David is with us again. And David, tell us a little bit about the water systems, since you are an actual archaeologist, and how they were masters of it. And this is not an agricultural terrace. We've got some interesting stuff behind us going on, but let's start with what's behind us first.
Yeah, so this is we're in the town of Chinchero at the edge of the Sacred Valley. This is an interesting town because it's actually at a higher elevation than Cusco. But in this town, we have several interesting archaeological features. One of obviously the largest one being the palace structure you see here. Said to have been built by Tupac Yupanqui, who was father of Huayna, the last Inca emperor before the Civil War. It is quite a monumental structure. As you can see, they use imperial class jigsaw architecture, and that basically means that the stones are fitted into each other with some irregularity, creating a uniform pattern. This type of structure is actually earthquake proof. If you look at it from very close by, you'll see that all the walls have a slant to them, the ability to absorb earthquakes. The interesting thing about what we're seeing here is we have a series of double-jamb doors, and you can see double-jamb doors in Inca archaeology denote a structure of importance, so either royal importance or religious importance, and as you can see, all the doors here are double-jamb doors. We have a main gatehouse, quite a large gatehouse, actually one of the largest in the empire. Chinchero was an imperial cult center. This is one of the places that the imperial mummies were kept. In fact, when the Spanish got here, they burned a large number of the imperial mummies, or the mummies of the Sapa Incas, here in the center of the town in Chinchero. Here you can see the gatehouse, along with the avenue. You can see a water system. They had two types of water systems in cities like this. They had water for drinking as well as water for sewage. Water for sewage which was used for defecation, urination, and conducting of personal business, and the water for drinking was used for cooking, drinking, washing clothes, and whatnot.
And real quick, I have a question. So here's the palace. We've got the hills around us with all of these terraces.
Yes, including the imperial terraces further at the bottom. Right now, this is a courtyard area.
So the big terrace that we're on, this is ceremonial.
Yeah.
But you can see what is not currently being used is terraced still thousands of years later, versus here
hundreds of years.
Yeah. Here you see people basically rolled through with bulldozers, removed the terraces, and now are fighting all the erosion issues instead of just farming like they used to. But everything around here,
and you can see this landscape is still used for agricultural purposes. In fact, the Ceremonial Plaza is currently being used for the production of dried potatoes, or chuño.
So let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, so you can see it's laid out right here.
Okay.
These are the dehydrated potatoes, chuño. There's several ways of dehydrating, and one of the common ways that they do in the rural communities is the women actually step on them to try to squeeze as much of the moisture out of the potatoes as possible.
So these things that look like rocks or gravel.
Yeah, these are shrunk potatoes.
Okay. So they took the potatoes. You can see they're in like halfway through dehydration, and this is the, I don't want to say modern way. This is the, if you don't have a kulka.
This is actually not the correct way of doing it. Let me be very direct. This is the lazy way of doing it.
Right. This is the modern way. If you don't have, you know, the
kulpas, yeah,
the imperial way they used to do things.
Yeah.
Oh, here's an interesting thing. I'm going to zoom in on some sheep. being pastured out there.
And
Probably used
if
to
you want,
maintain
you can
stuff.
go and show the imperial agricultural terraces right there.
Okay, we're gonna see the other terraces. So you guys remember these are just drying, waiting, drying, waiting, drying. And so they're left out every night, and in the daytime they're brought in to protect them. It's actually raining today, and they shouldn't
Which is
be
very
out.
unusual.
So here, these terraces are actual agricultural terraces. They're the imperial ones that would have probably supplied food to the palace that used to sit on here. This is a very underrated site, in my opinion. Again, this allegedly over here is going to be the new international airport. It's been under construction for 30 years, so maybe another 30 years from now, you can fly directly here. But this is an underrated site,
Yeah.
and hardly anybody knows about it or comes here. But this, I think, rivals Machu Picchu. Which is,
They're different, but
Yeah.
yeah, this is a massive palace. I mean, the residential buildings, the imperial residential buildings here are far larger than anything we have at Machu Picchu.
which is just incredible. So I did a terraced episode.
I mean,
and
you can
the other
see
ones.
the palace complex actually goes all the way up the hill. There's portions that are unexcavated. All those lumps and bumps that you see on the side of that hill, those are not natural. That's actually archaeology. That's under the ground that has not been excavated.
So effectively, Spanish came, they burned down the main portion, but it just kept going. They just tore the rest of that down, and then nature just overtook all of that.
yeah, the main residence would be where the church is today.
We're gonna see a crazy, I think it's that corner over there when we get over there.
Yeah.
A drainage system, but masters of hydrology
And
Masters-
agriculture.
and agriculture. All of this is, hey, look, there's clouds over there and it's raining over there. Well, they have ways of capturing that and guaranteeing fertility because you never know where the rain's gonna be. Versus all modern systems, for whatever reason, are designed to slope, run water away to the drain, to the gutter, get it away into a creek or river and flush it as quickly as you can off. And they had massive droughts recently in Peru, and it's hilarious.
Peru's actually experiencing an El Nino-driven drought right now.
Yeah, crazy droughts. Look, right now, where the terraces are tend to be more green versus where the, quote, modern way is sloping all the water away, not retaining it, slow spread and soaking it. And so by design, the old system, the Spanish had the opportunity to capture the system on this terrace, at least the knowledge, right? Even if you wanted to kill and murder them anyways, at least capture the knowledge of what they knew. Nope, we're not gonna do that. We've lost all that knowledge of kind of how everything works, replaced it with policies that perpetuate the ignorance.
And here you can actually see how quite huge this palace complex was.
Yeah, we'll
This is-
zoom way.
This is one continuous complex.
And this is
This is massive.
maybe 800 meters away. I just zoomed in on.
By Inca Palace standards, this is like gargantuan.
Yeah, and again, where those eucalyptus trees up there, the lumps and bumps are just more palace under it. The crazy thing here, if we come up on it, you're going to see this crack. And again, all the water is designed to slope, spread, and be moved away from the foundations, so the moisture.
But then captured for agriculture.
Yeah, the
on the
moisture.
terraces.
It's sloped and spread and moved away from the foundations where the buildings were. Then it immediately moved onto the terraces. It's just over this hill, which we're going to take you to next. We'll show you how it was captured on the terrace.
Yeah, you
Check
can
this out.
see one of the spouts right there in the corner.
So here's the spout. You're going to notice that around, if you pay attention, there's this like usually a dead spot up against all the foundations, the Inca foundations. That's because there's a solid stone here with a gutter system. Here would have been higher up. Higher up there would have been water. It's all captured above it on the terrace below it. This then moves the water to here, which it's then split. The water continues. Here's some of the stone that's sticking out. And it'll go to another terrace if there's more building terraces down there. Well, there's not. We're about to see all the water's sloped away now and captured as an agricultural terrace.
That's another one right there.
This is a drain. All the water up top is being captured and on purpose moved
Into this,
to a larger gutter.
and you can see this is bringing water from that side as well.
all of this.
So then the water moves through here, through these canals. All the water that is being led away from the foundation moves through these canals, down this area that we're standing in it, and is able to actually provide water for the agricultural terraces.
And the agricultural terraces are designed completely differently than the palace terraces. Absolutely different. And so you have just masters of hydrology. And you'll notice right here, this is basically abandoned fields that still have greenery because they're still functioning as they were designed to, where literally across the ridge, the modern way to do it shows you the problems. Shows you the problems. Look, there's dry, runoff, erosion issues. You'll see it's very green down there. Why is it so green down there? Because they're using pumps. You can see that blue line. They're pumping water from the river. So this will actually just grow everything that you put in there. Okay, so I don't have the mic on, just I'm shooting a quick one. So this is a natural gutter. The natural gutter would have come through here. There would have been a roof section here, and so this is capturing water from streams or something up above. This is a very steep angle on purpose, and the steep angle causes debris to fall out. There's a pit with a depression on the right and left. That one's filled in. But what would happen is that water would come rushing at this very steep angle. It would cause debris to drop out of suspension. It hit right here, split into these two. And again, this is their drinking water. This is their well. And there would have been a thatched roof, a triangle roof over it that would prevent rainwater and other dirty water to get in. So this was one of their actual drinking water sections. Okay, so we are now on top of the palace. This is a non-restored section. You can see, even within this non-restored section, you can still see where there's not much vegetation that grows right up against the foundation because it's still working. And I want you guys to see this depression that's right here. There's a depression right here because it's still under this and it's still working because it's still slightly green all the time. And of course, that's going to be the outlet when this overruns with the water. The excess drinking water then goes through here, and then right in front of Sarah here, there's another hole where it goes down, and that would have been the natural runoff from this, which again is an Inca trench that's still functioning despite there's dirt and stuff in it. Crazy. And all right, guys, here we are, just kind of on top of the palace, looking down over the agricultural stuff, which everything's still semi-functioning, which is wild.